Thank you. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. I know it was a long and eventful evening, but very excited to get this first win tonight. I always think it's a great thing when you can get the win in the opener, and you can also get tested a little bit. You can get smacked in the face with some adversity and handle it, which we did. Some adversity we created for ourselves in the first half with the two turnovers that led to touchdowns. One was a pick six that put them up 20-10, and the other one, I think they returned it down to the 2-yard line and scored right after. So we got the win. We got punched in the mouth. We talked at halftime, and I made a couple very simple statements to the kids. I told them, in my opinion, we were getting blown out on the scoreboard, being down 10 points, and I asked them if this was what they wanted their legacy to be. You know, starting out preseason number 6, and then losing the opener at home, and I think they responded pretty well to that, since we outscored Duquesne 47-3 in the second half. So very proud of them, proud of what they did, and looking forward to getting on the video tomorrow and getting on to Hampton next week. I'll take questions. You good? That covered all?
Taylor Heineke, 3 interceptions. Yet he came back in the second half and played pretty well. I mean, what are your thoughts on his performance tonight?
Yeah, I thought overall, Harry, it was a solid performance in that he was on his reads. He was making good decisions. All 3 of those interceptions, he was on the right read. We had one. The very first interception was off a screen pass, and the ball just kind of got caught in the crowd there. That's tough. It's hard when that happens to your quarterback. The second one, I believe the kid tipped it and caught it, and ran it back for a touchdown. He was trying to check down to the back, and you don't anticipate that the D lineman's not going to rush the passer, is going to stand there and jump up. And then the third one, Larry Pinkard fell down at the top of the route. He cramped up and fell. It was right in front of me. I saw it happen. It looked like he got shot in the leg. So he fell down. The ball went right to the corner. So all 3 of the picks, you don't like to see them happen, but I thought those could have happened last year, Harry. They just never did. He only threw 1 pick all year when he could have thrown 6 or 7. But fortunately, he recovers from that stuff. Our offense does, and to throw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. It's a pretty good night.
Coach, talk a little bit about your defense. It seemed like they were pretty much dialed in the whole game, and when the offense struggled.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's I've been here now. That was our 36th game, and that's as good a game as I've seen an Old Dominion defense play. To hold them to the yardage they had, which was not much. Overall, they went for 151 yards. I think they only had 23 yards after halftime, if I'm not mistaken. That's as good as we played on defense. And again, what I'm most proud of with the defense is the adversity. You look and you see 23 points, and you think the defense gave up 23. Well, really, the offense gave up the majority of the points tonight. It was all 3 interceptions. I think the interceptions led to 17 points. Thought our defense was outstanding. I thought that's as best as we've tackled since we've been a program. And the guys who needed to play well stepped up and played well. Craig Wilkins and Chris Burnett ran in those guys. So really, I'm really proud of the overall effort of the defense, and the fact we were very base tonight. We didn't run a lot on defense. We ran base defense, and we were trying to get our kids to understand that it doesn't need to be schemed. We don't need to have the right defensive call every play. We can line up, play base, and do a good job. And we did that. I'm really proud of them.
More questions for Coach Wilder?
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Thank you, 12 Monarchs. You were awesome.
What do you guys talk about the difference in the first half and the second half, mainly from an intensity level or something like that? Or?
Obviously, offensively, we weren't we weren't on in the first half. We would start driving and just shoot ourselves in the foot with penalties, turnovers. So offensively, I think we just shooting ourselves in the foot first half, penalties, turnovers, and I think defense played great. Without the turnovers, it probably would have gotten less points. So I think defense played great.
Did you feel like that, I mean, you guys play a fast tempo anyway, but the tempo seemed even faster in the second half. Was that something you talked about at halftime?
I think that was just, us doing what we do in practice. We practice going fast, getting that defense really tired, and I think we execute pretty well.
Taylor, how would you grade your performance tonight?
First half, definitely a D. I think second half, probably a B, B+. There's always room for improvement, so we'll watch film tomorrow and see what we can do better.
Down 20-10 at the half, was there any panic at all?
Absolutely not. We just felt like if we just came out and played ODU football second half, everything would take care of itself. Defense played great all game. I think offensively, the first half we struggled a little bit with penalties. We've gotten in their territory. So second half we tried to cut that down, and I think we executed pretty well.
TJ, your thoughts on the defense? You guys retooled your defense in the offseason, limited them to 151 yards, and even though they scored some points, a lot of those came off of offensive turnovers.
We weren't worried at all. We was down at halftime. The offense had a couple of turnovers, but we've just been working hard this offseason, and this is the best defense ever looked. So.
TJ, were you surprised at the offense's play in the first half, or, I mean,
Maybe a little bit, but you just got to come out there and just try to play ODU football. We held it down for them. They had the two picks, came back, stopped them. They got the little field goal, but at the end of the day, we got the win, so it really doesn't matter.
did y'all do anything different defensively in the second half, in terms of blitzing or anything like that, or the same?
No, sir, just straight base defense, no blitzing, none of that. It's just basic defense.
TJ, the defense, you guys really shut down Larry McCoy, who averaged about 125 rushing yards a game last year, just 50. What did you guys do to slow him down there?
The defensive line did a great job containing him. You got to give it all to the defensive line. That's it.
What about you guys as a secondary, really keying on Patterson, the quarterback? He's not really that. Last year, he was great, but he was first team all conference for preseason. So how did you guys really, what was the game plan?
Just the game plan was, if he did get out of the pocket, you just got to stick to your man. And that's what we did. We did have that one where they scored that first touchdown. But after that, we did pretty good to keep him in the pocket. So that's pretty good.
Any more questions for Taylor or for TJ? Okay, good. You two are good to go. Thank you. Questions for wide receiver Nick Mayers?
Nick, what changed for you on the second half? Start off with a attribute that to a little bit of first game rust, or talk a little bit about that.
I feel like we were just a little too overconfident. Game came out. They really set the tone that they weren't going to come in here and lay down. They're playing in front of 20,000. But definitely, things get bad. But we have a good offense and our defense played great tonight. So I just think it was a little overconfidence, and we needed to come back to reality. And that's definitely what happened.
Can you talk about that 75-yard catch and run where you pretty much shook the entire defense? What happened on that play?
Well, my route was just I'm probably the third read on that play. So basically, I'm just supposed to get to the middle of the field, know, if it comes down, basically a check down, nobody has to throw it to me. You know, Taylor does a great job of scrambling and finding people on the run, and that's what happened. Once I caught the ball, I was just, you know, trying to make plays. I got a good block from Antonio Vaughn. Just off to the races after that.
As an offense at halftime, what y'all talk about?
We talked about just keep doing what we're doing, you know. They weren't really slowing us down, they just weren't giving up the big play. You know, they was just, they didn't want to give up any big plays, so I feel like the coach just told us to just keep doing what we're doing and things will come along. We got a lot of playmakers on offense, at wide receiver, Taylor, running back, Tyree, I think he had 2 touchdowns. We just have a lot of playmakers, and we just got to keep, pressing forward, and good things will happen with the type of offense that we run.
Offensively, what was different for you guys in the second half? You put up 47 points. Did you change anything?
I think the tempo got to him. We call it green tempo, and after chasing our running backs and receivers around for 3 quarters, I think we just kind of wore them, and they got a little tired, honestly. And like I said, we have good playmakers. And in the second half, we just kept doing what we're doing. Our receivers had a little bit of drops in the first half, but the second half, I think we played very well. We were a lot more sharper.
Any more questions for Nick? Thank you. Thank you. Head coach Bobby Wilder.